All right, Briscoe Needs back here with you on SportsCenter. Our top story coming out of Sunday from the NBA. De'Aaron Fox, yes, going to San Antonio. Sources telling our NBA insider Shams Charania that he will team up with Wemby in a three-team trade that also sent Zach LaVine to Sacramento. Of course, De'Aaron Fox had 1 year remaining on his deal there with the Kings, but no long-term contract was in the sight. So Zach was like, well, let's see where we can send him. And the aforementioned Shams Charania here with us in studio all week, bro. Hope you're ready.
I'm here all week. We just landed and got through a snowstorm.
Like literally,
and we made
sleep is optional from here on out, and more so than it's been.
Especially after last night.
You good,
Okay.
right?
Especially after last night.
So, how did this thing come up with De'Aaron Fox actually getting his preferred destination of San Antonio? How did he make that happen?
Yeah, about 5 days ago, I reported that the Sacramento Kings were now open to listening to trade offers on De'Aaron Fox going into the NBA trade deadline, and he lands exactly where that one targeted destination was for De'Aaron Fox. And a lot of it is because the Kings and Fox's agent, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, they had some candid conversations over the last several weeks, the last several months, and this was the Kings getting out ahead of what was essentially going to be inevitable this offseason, which was a trade of De'Aaron Fox out of Sacramento. He was not willing, as of now, to sign long-term with the Kings. There were real concerns about his future there. And for them, the moment that they could figure out a trade, get out ahead of it, they did that. They get Zach LaVine, an all-star player, having a great bounce-back season. 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks.
Yeah.
And for the Spurs, the moment this guy becomes available, you can pair him with Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama wants the front office, Brian Wright, their general manager, to make decisions on their own. R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich, and their organization. But there's one thing that gives the Spurs organization pressure on a daily basis. That isn't Victor Wembanyama vocally. That's his play on the court. And how great he's been. How do we supply him with the resources?
It becomes a win-now situation.
Yeah, how do you maximize that potential in a short window, because you don't know how long your window is? All right, so let's turn our attention to Jimmy Butler now, because
Speaking
this thing
of other people who want to
continues
go
to
where
get
they want to go.
So Brian Windhorst said this earlier. Butler communicated to the Warriors that he's unwilling to sign an extension there, and therefore trade talks to send him to Golden State have ended for now. So, Shams, what are the remaining options for Jimmy at this point?
Around the league, it's become increasingly clear that where he would want to be long-term and stay long-term and commit long-term, that's the Phoenix Suns, from everything I'm told. And over the last several weeks, the Heat have been engaged in conversations with both the Suns and the Warriors, and in a lot of ways, those two teams have been the leaders for Jimmy Butler here in this last week going into the NBA trade deadline. And his $52 million play option for next season, that gives him an amount of leverage. And Phoenix, going into this trade deadline week, they are fully focused on figuring out a 3, 4, 5 team trade that lands them Jimmy Butler. That's something they're focused on. They're motivated every single day in that Suns front office is how can we get Jimmy Butler and put him in the lineup with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Okay, how many people after last night's news asked you if you had been hacked?
My phone, I don't think I had about 300 text messages.
Like, I know our people were like, some
I
of
was
them.
like, is that the real Shams?
Can't be
I think
hit.
my phone started malfunctioning, and I
like, it gets super hot. Because, like, honestly, if you've somehow missed the news, how's the rock you've been living under? Luka Doncic is now a member of the Lakers. Anthony Davis is now a member of the Mavericks. It's a 3-team deal. Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris also go to L.A. Max Christie going to Dallas. The Jazz are also involved with some draft picks. The deal, like, it shocked everyone, us included, but also those involved.
As we turn the page, I think it's important to know that Jay Kidd and I, we've had a vision in the culture that we want to create since we've been here. And the players that we're bringing in, we believe exemplify that. And, you know, we think defense wins championships. And we're bringing in one of the best two-way players in the league. Trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, you know, really intense conversations over the course of, 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, and then it built upon that. And, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight. Jay Kidd didn't know about it. But Jay Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without actually talking to him. Let's be clear, I'm the one making the decision, and Jay's supportive of it. So it's me. But we really believe in it, and time will tell if I'm right.
Just the shock there for everyone involved.
Yeah, because of this.
Right, exactly. But also, like, you know, Devin Booker was like Luka Garza, because that made more sense in the moment than what happened. So Luka was among the people who were shocked by the news. What now happens from him, like, the rest of the week?
It's embracing the fact that he is now the face of this Lakers franchise. And we've been talking over the last several weeks, them needing to make one or two moves to potentially get in a position to win a championship. And LeBron James and Anthony Davis feeling like they were one or two pieces away. This is a Lakers team that's kind of going more into youth and really going all in on Luka Doncic's future. He's 25 years old, a generational player. They believe he's going to be the face of the franchise for the next 10 years. I'm told he's going to arrive to Los Angeles, have his physical tomorrow on Monday. And the thing that I'm focused on as well is the relationship between him and LeBron James. Yeah. And the respect he has for LeBron James over the last few years. It's going to be a very symbiotic relationship. And we saw him learn a lot of lessons from Kyrie Irving the last couple of seasons. I think how he absorbs the lessons from LeBron James on how LeBron James takes care of himself, his body, mentally, physically, emotionally, every single day, I think that's only going to take Luka Doncic to a whole nother level.
And all right, so ESPN NBA analyst Shanae Ogumike joins us now here on SportsCenter for some perspective. Look, you put De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama on paper, it makes a lot of sense. But what about the actual fit there, Shanae? Not only short term, but especially long term.
The fit is pretty fabulous because on paper, statistically already, this looks like the best pick-and-roll team in basketball, getting De'Aaron Fox. Now, when you think about screens, the points per screen when it comes to players, De'Aaron Fox is number 6 in the NBA. Victor Wembanyama is number 2. And you know what? The irony is number 1 on that list is Chris Paul. So they have 3 of the top pick-and-rollers in basketball. But as it pertains to D. Fox, he is 27 years old. He averages 25, 6, and 5. And he really has experience playing alongside a talented big, as you saw in those highlights, with Domantas Sabonis. Right now, you're seeing 2 things that Victor Wembanyama can pull. He is a destination, and 2, the build towards the San Antonio Spurs becoming a contender is happening right now before our eyes.
I also feel like my little brain can't handle all of this right now because, like, I'm still trying to come to grips with what happened Saturday in the NBA. The Mavericks just traded away Luka Doncic to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. And here's the thing. Did anyone know it was coming?
No.
Apparently only the people who were negotiating the deal, which started to come together over the last month. And the Mavericks basically felt like this was the move that defensively put them in a better position to win a championship. More from you in a second, but first let's hear from Tim McMahon.
The last time a transaction shocked the league like this, Klay Thompson suggested it was when LeBron James took his talent to South Beach. But Thompson noted, obviously that was on his own accord. Luka Doncic, a superstar still approaching his prime, wanted to spend his entire career in Dallas. But Mavs GM Nico Harrison pulled off a trade for a package headlined by Anthony Davis without opening up the bidding to any other teams. We'll have to wait to hear Kyrie Irving's thoughts. He didn't speak to the media after sitting out Sunday's blowout loss. Other Mavs players kept their comments on the trade brief and innocuous. They expressed well wishes to Luka and welcomed AD. As Thompson put it, it's the nature of the business. You have to be professional about all things in front of you. In Cleveland, Tim McMahon, ESPN.
I also think it's a really solid reminder that we're all replaceable.
True that.
All of us. But okay, let's take a look at this situation for Luka. How can he find success with the Lakers?
First of all, Luka Doncic is so talented, he could find success on any team. But this is Los Angeles. What's crazy, and the irony here, is that we think about Los Angeles being Showtime. It's got Magic Johnson. Now we've got the 2.0 version with Luka Magic. And what I love about this pick and this acquisition here through trade is the fact that Luka is someone that can really help LeBron James. We all know LeBron James is 40 years old, and he just had an amazing game in the Garden, going for a triple-double. That was his highest usage game in the NBA so far. Now you bring in Luka Doncic, who, by the way, is 3rd in NBA history in points per game at around 29. Now you have a crazy scorer, passer, and someone to take the load off of LeBron James' shoulder. But most importantly, this is about the future. So when you think about Luka and the Los Angeles Lakers, it's about the long term and having a star in this city for the years to come.
keep up.